Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Um you have tuned into the Art of Transparency Talk Show. I am your host, Nikita Moore. Um y'all know I always be trying to share it in that 30 seconds and it never works for me. So if you got tips on that, share them for me because yeah, it never works for me. Um hey. So we got a special guest tonight. Oh my goodness, I think she has been a part of the tour for about 2 years. Yay! I love when they come back uh, for a second and third and fourth year. Haven't had 4 years straight yet, but okay, here we go. There it is. You know, I be trying to share and it don't work sometimes. So y'all ready? So again, this is the Art of Transparency Talk Show, and over the course of the next few weeks, we will not be here the week of Christmas, which is next weekend, because it's Christmas and we want to enjoy family, right? And we want you to enjoy family. So we will not be live the week of Christmas or the week of New Year's Eve. So we will be back January the 9th. So we will not have a show from now until January the 9th. So just make sure that you are tuned in January the 9th. So tonight we have a wonderful guest. She is doing some amazing things in the neighborhood, in the community. She has a talk show, so it's going to be a great time. So without further ado, please help me to welcome my guest, Tyra Shange. Hey,
Hi,
Tyra. Oh
good
my goodness.
evening. How are you?
Oh, I am well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm loving your hair. Actually, I just wanted to say that on camera. You mentioned that you was doing something new, and I tried to
Listen, this is,
be
let
quiet.
me tell you, the 70s look right here. And I had on some bigger earrings. I was like, no, ma'am, you really look like 70s right now. So just take this little hair and go on about your business. Go on about your business.
It's
Um,
cute.
so this is my in-between stage hair, right? Like, so for those that don't know, this is, my favorite wig. Hey, listen, if you don't have
Oh,
a favorite wig,
I didn't-
I suggest you go get one because yeah, this is her, honey. Wanna go to the store and your hair look a mess? The store on, she looks amazing with
What makes her
anything.
your favorite, though? What makes her your favorite? Is it
Because
of ease?
even it's I think it's the fact that it's like that natural curly afro type look and it's big, right? I mean I like flat hair too, but I've gotten into this whole big hair thing, big hair don't care. And I think that might be it. I think that
Okay.
might be it. And then the fact that I've bought like 12 wigs and I don't like but maybe two of them,
Oh, okay.
that
Okay.
could be the biggest problem. I mean, the biggest thing, right? Because I bought wigs during COVID, and during COVID, you couldn't try them on. So I would just look at the
Right.
mannequin like, yes, I want that one. Then get home like, should have left this one in the store. But this one, I love her. So tell us, because we got an audience. Hey, Jacqueline. So Jacqueline is saying, "Hey" to us. Hey.
Hey, sis.
So tell the audience who you are and what you.
So my name, well, first of all, good evening, Art of Transparency, followers, fans, viewers,
Yay!
people of the world. Thank you, Makita, for inviting me to be on the talk show this second time. Ooh, second time in December as well. This is almost an anniversary.
Yay!
My name is Tyra Shange. I am the CEO of a organization or a business, soon to be
Mm-hmm.
but a business named Ebony Sun LLC, in which I consult. I do a little bit of digital marketing for people. I've done one website so far. I do a little bit of everything. But before I was ever a business owner officially, I was a poet and a writer and a
Yay.
community organizer. So I'm mixing a little bit of all the favoritist worlds, all the things that make Chicago great, in who I am. So I'm just honored and thrilled to be on the talk show and get to know and allow people to get to know me, get to know even Makita a little bit more as we go on this tour.
Yay! Oh my goodness. The tour. It has been a great 2021. And I am almost nervous for 2022.
Oh, why?
Only because it was a great 2021, and I can only imagine what's in store for 2022. It's a
So like,
good nervous.
okay,
Not like, oh my God, what's about to happen, but oh my God, what's really about to happen? You know what I'm saying? So it's not a nervousness that I feel like a negative nervous. It's really a positive nervous. Like I look forward to seeing exactly what's about to happen and unfold. Because yes, we make plans. Absolutely, we have an outline, but we never really know until it's time. So tell the audience, because I am a huge fan of Tyra, right? Tell the audience what made you choose the art of transparency with all that you have going on.
So actually,
I love her, y'all.
I got to keep it real. A person by
Yay.
the name of Anthony Townsend, Coach Tony,
That's
was
that coach.
we had just in Chicago, if you're watching out of state, in Chicago, we hadn't been on shelter in place all year, like last year, right? So the summer was pretty busy. I had done a couple of lives myself on my page, one of my brand pages, Sincerely Tyra. I was in the process of I think at that point, by the time we had the talk show, so not when he actually introduced me, but by the time we had the talk show and I was guest speaker with Yolanda, hey yo, my friend and I, Jackie, who's watching, decided to do a podcast, right? So there were a lot of things that were going on, but I want to say maybe in about August or September, Coach Tony was like, Tyra, I need you.
Anytime you start with that, I need you, you be like, okay.
It's like, what is this really about? What's happening? It must be something to this, okay?
Yeah.
So that was actually who introduced me to Art of Transparency, AOT, Makita the author more. So yeah, it was really Coach Tony. And then after doing a little bit of research, because y'all know I'm a
You
lifelong.
got to. You gotta know.
And just understanding what the mission is and what the goals are of AOT, it's, to my understanding and to my experience, it's supposed to be this gathering space where people actually get to come and talk about the things that they are healing through. A lot of times we talk about, oh, I'm healed and I'm this and I'm that. But a lot of times we're healing through, right?
Yes.
Or we're trying to become healed. We're trying to become whole. So I love that, just the transparency in that, in and of itself, because we're not faking,
No.
We're not saying, and actually I love Rihanna, y'all know, work, right? But she has a sound bite that's like everybody's using on social media right now, talking about what she does when she doesn't feel beautiful, or what she does when she doesn't feel like she's ready to perform, talking about pretending. And I'm just like, I can't, that's not the lifestyle I'm living.
Not at all.
Right. And I'm sure there was a point where I was like, okay, I got to fake the funk, right? Or I got to fake it until I make it. But one of the things that I like about our AOT is that I'm allowed to actually say, hey, this is what I've been through. I'm not exactly, where I want to be, but this is, this is how I'm dealing with this. So that's what made me come back a second year.
To be honest, that's the whole truth, right? That's it. That is AOT in a nutshell. We're not 100% healed, and we, because there's going to always be some hills and valleys in your life. The difference is some of these hills we can climb a little easier.
Yeah.
some of
Yeah.
these valleys we can kind of navigate our way a little bit easier, right? Because
Yeah.
we know, oh, I probably been through something like this before. So I got through it before, I can get through it again. Doesn't make it not hard, right? Doesn't make it not emotional or a little bit mentally kind of a little tug at you, but
Yeah.
you at least know, you know, in the back of your mind, it might not be at the forefront, but in the back of your mind, you like, I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna get through this too. And then as far as the healing, a lot of us did not understand coping and healing, right? Because we cope a lot, right? Because we got to keep going. You can't
Mhm.
quit your job because you're going through something. You can't stop being a mom. You can't stop being some of us wives, girlfriends, whatever. You can't just stop life because you got some other stuff happening. So we learn to cope. We learn to keep going and just kind of push that under the rug until it comes back and resurface into something else.
Mhm.
So that's why AOT was built in a nutshell. We need to learn how to heal versus just coping. It's cool to cope for the first, month or so, but at some point we got to heal through it. So it can kind of, so life can get a little bit easier for us. So thank you for that, because that's exactly what we are looking to do. We want to be transparent. We want to be honest with ourselves, right? The person in the mirror is the most important.
Mhm.
So that makes it great. So tell us, how does AOT kind of fit in what you're already doing? Because you're already doing some amazing things. Like you are doing some great things within your organization and your business. So how does this fit?
Well, thank you for that. It fits in a lot of ways. So, like I mentioned earlier, I'm a lifelong learner.
Mm-hmm.
So first and foremost, being able to be around people that one are honest about the stuff that they're going through, and even not even sometimes it might not be fully honest, right? Because I
Right.
have this saying that sometimes we grieve situations or we grieve people who aren't dead, right? Who haven't been lost, but we grieve over situations and people that sometimes they right there. Some
Absolutely. Yeah,
situation is
absolutely. Absolutely.
so to be able to kind of bounce ideas off of people, to hear other people's testimony. I'm also a believer of Christ Jesus, right? So to be around people, one that know, hey, there's something bigger than me. And
Yeah.
even though I'm going through this, even though I've been through this, there's a reason that God has kind of blessed me or had me learn this lesson, right?
Oof.
And not everybody feels that way. Some people, I think, too, if I'm being transparent, right?
Yes.
I was not always the talker that I am now, right? I was actually looked at as like one of the quietest people in my family. Um,
Really?
Immediate family and extended family too,
Okay.
right? So some of my cousins would tell you like, oh, she just real chill. She's nonchalant, right?
I can see that. I can see that. I can definitely see that. We've been out of town several times together, and I can see how that gets, how you get that title of being real nonchalant, real laid back. I can see that.
It's just one of those things where it's like I was talking to my youth about it. So this is another way that it fits in too. For those of y'all that don't know, I've been working with young adults or people who are younger than me for in June of this year made 11 years. So almost
Okay.
12 years now, right? Or I'm sorry, 11 and a half years now. My math a little off when it gets later. But even this morning, I go to Quinn Chapel, AME Church here in Chicago, the oldest Black congregation in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Pastor Troy K. Bennett and Lady Sherelle are our first family, right? But I have been called or asked rather to start teaching the teen and young adults Sunday school, right?
Okay.
And even today I was talking to them about who do they say they are, right? One, we've been talking about for a while who God says, we all are, and
Mm-hmm.
who we are
Mm-hmm.
individually. But then also, who do you say you are? When somebody, asks you to introduce yourself, who are you?
Who
What do
are
you
you?
do?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and then also trying to connect that or disconnect that with what
Mm-hmm.
people say about us, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard. I had a young person today who actually, and I kind of shifted the conversation to ask them, what's special about you? and I had a young person that said nothing. And that really hurt my heart, right? Because even though I don't see some of them, I don't see them every week. They come when their parents can, have them come, or even with the pandemic and going back to school. I understand. When I was a teenager, I wanted that Sunday to myself sometimes, right? So I get it. But to hear that young person say that, it really, kind of startled me. Because I just knew she was gonna have a long list of stuff, right? But to me, it just reminds me, AOT reminds me, one, that you're never going through something alone. Right? And it kind of fits into what I'm doing, because it pushes me to talk about some of the experiences that I've had. I mentioned on a Facebook post earlier this week that normally I'm the person that's asking the questions, right? So the reason I became a poet was mostly because I had all of these stories in me. I had all of these things that I was trying to speak to as a teenager, right? You can't just be yelling at your mom.
I know.
You can't just be yelling at the teacher. You can't just be showing out, in class. So I would write. I would write about everything. And then those poems actually turned into letters, things that I wanted to say to people. So that's how AOT fits too, because I feel like everything that we do is built to either bless somebody or harm somebody. And I want to be on the side of being able to bless somebody.
Yes. That harming. We got enough of that happening, outside of. So I don't want to. No, let's be on the other side. So absolutely about that. It's crazy because I remember when starting AOT, and I just promise I say this all the time, but it's for real. I just kind of wanted to sell a book. I had no clue. I had no clue the path that ALT would take, and and if I could go back 6 years and change it, I absolutely would not.
Oh, good. Wow.
I absolutely would not, because I think this is what's needed right now, especially in this in the way that the pandemic, after the pandemic, losing loved ones, not feeling safe, all of that, right? I feel like this is the way to go. This is it. So no, we won't help all the millions of people, but if we can help just one somebody, and they can help one somebody, and they help one somebody, then we've done what we were supposed to do.
So and can I add something?
Go ahead. Yes.
AOT fits in because I've met a lot of really dope people, again, with stories, and I love listening to people's stories. So that's probably why I was the quiet one when I was younger, because I like to hear people tell stories, especially if you could tell a good story. I'm just like, really? So yeah.
That fits in this year. Well, the story doesn't kind of change, but the way that we're going to tell the story changes this year. We're going to be a lot more creative in telling our stories. We're going to be a lot more upfront in telling the story. So I think that's going to be dope. It's going to be a dope year. Like every time I think about this year and the changes and the upgrades and stuff like that, I just smile like, wow, we're here. We are here. And this year we start in January. So that's it's new, but it's still great because we started right here in Chicago, where ALT was founded and started. We started in Chicago back in 2016. So that makes it real good that we get to start at home this year. Yes, we have speakers from other cities, but they are going to fly in or drive in and be here for January the 22nd. So if you do not have your tickets, audience, please get your tickets. I promise you, because this year is going to be a different kind of ALT.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I can't wait. Friday we are going to do a meet and greet type thing with all of the speakers, and really get, just kind of chill out with each other and get to know each other, because this is some of the speakers' first year. So we get to just hang out and chill on Friday, and then on Saturday, January the 22nd, 2022. I did that on purpose. So January the 22nd, 2022, we will have our first event of the year, and it is entitled The Cover Up, because a lot of times we cover the anger, we cover the madness, we cover the sadness, the depression, the anxiety, we cover it, we mask it. Last year, a lot of us took the mask off, but this year we're gonna take the covers off, right? So it's called The Cover Up, and we got some phenomenal guest speakers along with all of ALT speakers. So I'm really excited about that. The ALT speakers get to do panel discussions. That's another thing that we're changing for 2022. Always the audience gets to interact with us and ask us questions and talk to us during the event, not just after during the network part of it. So I'm very excited about that. So tell us, we're wearing t-shirts. So without giving away your t-shirt, guess if you could, what would you be talking about? Because we're wearing t-shirts, guys. So I'm telling you, come out. You know, it's a lot of great things happening this year. So come out, come out, come out. So tell us about your t-shirt. Tell us about your t-shirt.
It's the hard one for me to not give away, because if you've been following me, you already know what the quote is, right?
Yes.
But it's about the way we present ourselves to the world, right? It's about and I'll be talking about leadership. I love, love, love. Let me first off say that we're also incorporating panel style,
Yes.
conversation into ALT in a previous job. And in most of my jobs, I have
Let's
been
be
the person,
clear, most of them.
I have been the person that facilitates or coordinates or invites people to panel style discussions, right? I used to work at an organization called Gary Comer Youth Center on the south side of Chicago, Grand Crossing. Hey, y'all, what's up? And I used to do every month, every quarter. We would meet every month, but every quarter I would put together something called a lunch and learn. And it was for youth development professionals to be able to come in and, just share their knowledge, share their skill set. We've had a couple people actually who've been engaged with ALT that have, been able to be panelists on some of those events. So I love that type of synergy. I love that type of atmosphere, right? Where we're growing and we're learning together. And where people are able to showcase their leadership. So that's a little bit about what I'll be talking about, because you can, Makita, you said it really well. Like, you can be going through something, right? And you can be trying to heal, and you could be trying to, cope your way through a situation, but you still have to lead households. You still got to lead at work, right? You still got to lead.
Just start.
So things don't just stop, right? So that's what I'll be talking about without giving too much away.
Yay! Oh my goodness. Guys, I'm telling you, get your tickets. They are $25 and $35. There will be food. We're having 2 kinds of mimosa. I have been battling with myself with this third kind, but there will be 2 kinds, definitely. And it's not mimosa. I'm sorry, sangria. It's not mimosa, it's sangria.
Well, that's good too.
So there's 2 kinds of sangria. I'm sorry. And I've been battling myself with this third time. But we want you to be comfortable, right? We don't want you to be thinking about, oh, when I leave here, I got to go eat. We are going to give you some snacks. And we're going to make sure that you're comfortable. And we're going to talk about things that may or may not be easy to talk about, right? Because we're going to talk about coping versus healing. We're going to talk about mental health awareness versus mental health ability, right? Because we're always like, oh, girl, I'm always the go-to person. And the 9 times out of 10, the go-to person doesn't have a go-to person.
Yeah. It's suffering and silent.
Yeah, you taking all of that in from your friends, family, kids, husband, boyfriend, and there's nobody for you to pour out to, right? So now you're trying to figure out how to navigate your stuff and their stuff. So that talks about mental health ability. What's the ability of my mental health? Like, am I okay? Am I okay? And will I ever be what is considered by society okay? because that's huge, right? Society says okay is this, but for me, okay is this. So our okay does not line up. So I'm telling you, get your tickets, because we're gonna have some real discussions, and that is what 2022 is going to be about. Real discussions. We're gonna talk about the stuff that other people just won't. We're gonna talk about the stuff that you probably wouldn't want to talk about on a regular day basis. But it's time, right? With the pandemic, if I've learned nothing else, the pandemic showed me there are more of us suffering in silence than there are that speaking out. It is time to use our voices, and on a greater scale. So January the 22nd, 1 o'clock p.m. on the south side of Chicago on 103rd and Halsted. Very beautiful place, very beautiful venue is what I'm trying to say. Tickets are at bit.ly /ALT cover up. That's it. No .com, just bit.ly /ALT cover up. And if you don't, if you couldn't get it here, just make sure that you go to my page, go to Tyra's page. It's all over Facebook. Trust me. It is all over Facebook. So just make sure you get your tickets, because you get to meet Tyra and the rest of the crew in person. And we want you to come out and really enjoy what ALT is all about. You will not be disappointed, I promise. So Tyra, give the people some last words and let them know where we find you.
Okay.
Where can we look you up?
So my main website is sincerelytyra.com. If you need to get in touch with me, you can, for any business purposes, not no play, but business purposes.
Don't be playing on my.
Listen, it's info sincerelytyra.com. My social media is sincerelytyra.com. I'm sorry, sincerely Tyra
Facebook,
on
Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram. Tyra Shange is on Instagram. I have 2 Instagram accounts, you all, because again, as Makita said, I do a lot. One is solely for my poetry, and Sincerely Tyra is for everything else. But I'm also on Twitter as Tyra Shange, and I am the host of 2 podcasts. So
yes, you are.
Monday, we are about to celebrate. Jackie Edie and myself are about to celebrate 1 year of the first podcast called Youth Development, What's Working and What's Not. So if you're looking for that, you can find us on facebook.com/YDWW, Youth Development, What's Working and What's Not, right? We tried to make it easy. YDWW Chicago, okay? And on Instagram as well, YDWW Chicago. And then in September, you all, I started my second podcast, y'all. Your girl is like, I just like to interview people. And again, I just like to hear people's stories. So
and I think it's a great thing.
Yes, like we should be talking to each other more. We should be, giving people helpful tips or things that could bless somebody, right? So I've been able to interview some really awesome women, 2 really awesome women, and I have more to come for the year of 2022. But when Queen's link is on and YDWW are both on all major streaming platforms. So we're on your Apple if you're an iPhone user. We're on Spotify if you like that better for some reason, right? We're on Google Podcasts. So wherever you get your podcast, you can download us there. But yeah, I have 5 episodes so far, and like I said, with YDWW Chicago, it'll be a year on Monday, so we've been working.
Man, and I know that it's hard to stay consistent with podcasts and lives and things like, because life happens. Life happens. So I commend you for 1 full year of greatness, and I know that is going to continue on. And I love that, the fact that we get to talk about good stuff, not always bad stuff. Because if you watch the news, the regular news, the stuff that they put on TV, the regular stuff, it's always something depressing. So I definitely thank those that do the opposite of that. And that would definitely be you.
Thank
What?
you. I didn't say this before, but the slogan or the motto for my business, Ebony Sun. So mind you, Ebony is celebrating all things Black and brown
Yeah.
culture, right? And then the
That's what
sun,
Ebony is.
the idea that it was, one of the main, not one of, but one of the things that God used to spread light, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the motto is celebrate something about yourself. So on that platform, we're only talking about, things that are positive. And I heard,
Yes.
this phrase, or I've been hearing this phrase called toxic positivity, right? So I hope we get into that in January too, for the cover up. But it's not the idea that we're only talking about positive things, but I want people to be able to say, you know what, I accomplished this, right? And I feel
Yes.
good about it. So I want to share it with somebody. So if you're one of those women, if you're one of those queens, that's what that podcast is about. And that's what, my whole business about. So again, that's why AOT kind of connects. That's why YDWW Chicago connects. Because we're trying to figure stuff out. We're trying to figure out how to increase the quality of life.
Look, it's so important. It's so very important. Everybody is out here like, I'm living my best life. Girl, living your best life is not buying Chanel bags, okay?
Talk about it, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
It's absolutely nothing wrong with it, because if y'all got the extra, I want one.
How are you doing?
It's about you and making you feel good. Like, self-care is so important, and we will definitely get into that come January. So I'm telling y'all, we are going to touch on real topics: self-care, motivation, self-motivating, affirmations, all of that, because it's part of everyday lives now. It has to be. It's just too much other things happening in the world to not do for you. Because we're for, we do for everybody else. It's time to kind of do for us too, not or, right?
Yeah.
It's not an or, it's an and.
Yeah.
So it's time to do for us. It's time to be that self-care. So we'll talk about that more. January the 22nd, 2022, 1 o'clock p.m., 10324 South Halstead. Tickets are bit.ly / AOT cover up. Meet us there. Definitely meet us there. Give us your last words and we out, y'all.
So you all, I am just so excited for the year 2022, for AOT, for all of the other platforms that I mentioned I'm connected with. And you all, just for the, if only, the idea that we've been through this pandemic for 2 years now, I see greater on the horizon for us, right? As you're going through your holiday season with family and loved ones, hug them a little bit longer, right?
Yes.
Put your mask on if you need to.
That's because you at Auntie Lulu house. Do not mean not wear your mask, okay?
Listen. At the same time, it's time for us to also stop living in other people's dreams, right? Start living in the dream that God has given you. So I see so much more greatness on the horizon for us, just in the idea that, God has a lot in store for Makita Moore, for Tyra Shange, Jackie, for everybody.
And people need to know that. Like, real quick story.
Oh, we get a story. Come on, man.
to say to say I hope, to say I wish, to say I pray, those are fine. So please don't take that out of context. Those are fine. But you also gotta know. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know it's gonna get better. You gotta know it's going to happen. You gotta know you're going to be a millionaire. You gotta know you're going to be married one day. You gotta know your kids are gonna come out of whatever, they're going. You gotta know, right? Because praying is absolutely amazing. And yes, you should do that. Yes, you should hope, but you also know, right? I know that I'm going to get better. I know that this is going to get better. You gotta know. And I want to leave that with you guys. Like, stop saying I wish. Stop saying I hope. I know. I know it will. It's huge. I know. So that's the story.
But that wasn't a story, Makita. So I just just want to point out that wasn't a story, but
I knew Tyra was gonna say that. I was waiting on the story, Makita. That is not a story. I
but I
know,
say that
right?
to say, there's no lie in that, right? And God wants us to have the heart, the desires of our heart, right? He
Absolutely.
wants us to match His heart's desires too. But then, that's a whole nother, a whole nother Sunday. But when I just feel what you're saying so much, because it's the difference between understanding that I could think about something, right, but I also have to see it come to fruition, right? I have
Yes.
to be able to believe it and have faith in it, and then do the work, to be able to see it see it come to fruition too.
You can't sit at your kitchen table and become a millionaire. It just don't. Not just sitting. Not just. You got to get a computer. You got to type. You got to send an email. You got to do something.
Faith without works.
Yeah, it's some work. There's some work.
I echo that.
Oh my goodness, Tyra, it was amazing to talk to you, and I can't wait till the 21st. I probably won't see you before then because of the holidays and all the stuff we got going on. However, on the 21st, we get to let our hair down just a little bit and
I just
woosah, just a little bit. So I cannot wait, and because I absolutely love ALT and I love our members because it shows me a strong side that I may or may not have seen, right? Like we are strong. We have been through the fire. Like you really want to know what fire is? Come to one of ALT's events. You think you've been through, baby. Woo! And it's not saying that you haven't been through enough, right? Because absolutely, if you stubbed your toe on the end of that bed, that's enough. Baby, that pinky, yeah, that one. That's enough. But we have been through so much. And we want to share that with you guys. So come out, come out, come out. Look up Tyra on Facebook, Instagram. Do you have what is it called, Snapchat?
I don't. Well, I do. It's defunct. So don't look me up on Snapchat. You're not gonna get anything right now. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a TikTok. Right now, I just feel like a lot going on. So maybe not a TikTok, but I am, trying to play with reels on Instagram. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe
I'm trying to do it. I'm gonna have my kids to show me TikTok because they're like TikTok is what's in, but I can get with Snapchat. I do have a Snapchat page, so I see some snaps, but I'm just like I don't know how to do none of that, so I'm not. We're not doing that. My brain can't deal.
It's funny because it's not that my brain can't deal. It's just the fact that you pick your favorite app because they all do the same thing. If you were on Twitter a couple months ago, especially definitely during the pandemic. And shout out to Clubhouse if you're still rocking with Clubhouse.
Oh my goodness, I forgot all about Clubhouse. I do have one of those too, but I don't go on it anymore. It was hot for a while, and then
for a good while.
No, it kind of, I don't know if it phased out or not. It's probably still there, but Makita phased out.
It's still there. Jackie just sent me a notification saying, that she got her 1-year anniversary kind of notification. And that's really how we started the podcast. But what I was going to say was pick your favorite platform because until Snapchat, until TikTok, Reels wasn't a thing, right?
Yeah.
And then even with Clubhouse, there was a iteration of that on Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, look at the one that is going to work the best for you, or the one that you're the most comfortable with, and people gonna find you. Don't worry about that.
That's all I'm saying. Y'all found me on MySpace.
Listen, shout out to anybody that still knows, what their MySpace background looked like. Okay.
If only I could get on. If only I could get on. So thank you so much, Tyra, for talking to me. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in via Facebook or YouTube. We thank you. We love you. We will be back again. Happy holidays, because we will not be back this Sunday or the following Sunday for the holidays. We want you to enjoy family and enjoy your new year. We will be back January the 9th with another special guest. So again, I thank you all for being here. I thank you, Tyra, so much for not only being on the show, but being a part of ALT. She is our 2022 budgeting coordinator. So hey, shout out to that. I don't have to. Let me tell y'all, a team is amazing. Okay, I don't have to make all the decisions. I can talk about like, oh, what are we doing about? And they have an answer. So I love it. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much, Tyra. And all of you guys have a great, great night and happy holidays. Bye, everybody.